Grand opening, grand closing. Your only friend is YouTube streets, Puerto77, back with another video. Let's talk about life choices. We all go through it, you know. Many of us have choices that we've done in life that we regret. And then there's choices we made that's successful in various forms, right? Whether it's professional, in school, you know, the girl that got away, all that weird stuff, right? But in this case, let's apply this to gaming, right? We have people that made a choice. Now there's some regrets. First up is Nintendo Prime. As you can see here, I replied. I said, bro, you wanted that smoke and now regret it. Even PC gamers couldn't co-sign your nonsense. Just take your L gracefully. What happened is he was the dude that made a post talking about how a $700 used built PC, right? Building a PC using used components. You could build a PC for $700. That's more powerful than a PS5 Pro. And of course, he got crushed, right? Not just by PlayStation dudes, but even PC dudes, because even PC dudes, the one thing I will get credit to some PC dudes, they have their limits, right? And what they didn't want, and I would say what they didn't want was a Nintendo guy putting them in a box that ultimately makes PC Master Race look stupid. So that's why I think they really went at him, because he set an unreasonable expectation, right? Because if PC gamers didn't check him, then technically as console war ammunition, PlayStation gamers could have used this $700 PC built, right? And when the PlayStation Pro actually comes out, and the $700 PC is nowhere near that, PlayStation gamers would have just crushed PC Master Race. So shout out to PC Master Race, because y'all knew what was coming. Y'all like, oh hell nah. We're not going to take a risk on a $700 used PC and try to compete with a PS5 Pro when we actually don't know, which is the main thing, what the Pro performance is. But if the Pro performance is significant and Sony does a good job, it could easily outclass a $700 PC, but we don't know. But the PC Master Race don't want to risk that. PC don't want to go there. PC Master Race, and they shouldn't, because it's stupid. There's no point in that, right? There's no point in trying to use PC market to go against a brand new mid-gen refresh. That just doesn't make sense, right? And I learned a couple of things, right? PC gamers are also saying, a decent amount of components in the used PC market are actually overclocked components. Many of the components have been overclocked, which makes sense, right? Because if you have a PC and you overclock your components, you are actually wearing and tearing those components faster, because you're going beyond the actual designed performance parameters. So you're blowing past what the company sold you those components intended to do. They still run, but the question is how long they're gonna run and how well and how long, right? Because you're overclocking it. So what PC gamers do who overclock these components, they'll use it for like a year or two, and then before it fully craps out, they'll put it on a used market, right? Because they wore the hell out of it, and they know that you shorten the lifespan of these components. So PC gamers, I gotta admit, that's pretty smart for all you overclock dudes. You overclock the shit out of this stuff, and then you're like, all right, I done the whole overclock for a year or two. Yeah, let me get rid of this, because you cut the lifespan short. So sell on the used market. Used market, you might get another year or two out of it, and then kaput, and the user's like, oh man, why did this component just went to shit? Because they've been overclocked to hell and back. So shout out to the PC gamers who provided that knowledge. But anyway, look at this guy crying, man. And this is when people cry, is when they write a whole thesis as if they're about to get their doctorates. This is their dissertation. So here we go. From Ninty Prime. After ending August upsetting PS fanboys, what's crazy is PC gamers went at him. In fact, they're challenging him. Show us this build. But anyway, I at least want to clear the air on what I was talking about. It's always clearing the air. Some understood, many just warred back and forth. No, well, you're right. We understood. Some understood, and they called you out. They understood what you tried to do, but then there was actually what you actually did. Right? Let's go. Console wars suck. Let's start there. I mean, I don't think it's that bad because it's not like it's a personal. I mean, it can be personal because some people take it too far, but it is what it is. I do not think Nintendo over Sony, whatever, or either are over PC or vice versa. If that was the case, I literally wouldn't game on them all. Hell, I just played Madden 25 today on the Xbox Series X. All right, whatever. My point got lost because people focus on the $700 PC stuff. Well, yeah, that's literally the point of your thread. I stand by that. I worked heavily in the used PC component arena, and you would be shocked what you could build in 2024 for that kind of money. And it's not as scary as you may think, and there is tons of buyer's protection if you know what you're doing. I do realize most don't know. You know, that if that was the main crux of your point of the thread, that you're trying to push awareness on the used PC games market, and you can build a credible, whatever level PC you think you can build, that's fine. But what does that have to do with the PS5 Pro? What does that have to do with PlayStation at all? Why not just say, hey guys, there's great, PC builds you can build for use, whatever, from the range to $700 to $900, whatever. But what does PlayStation 5 Pro have to do with this? Because we don't know the capabilities of the PS5 Pro. What if somebody listened to you right now and say, you know what, Nintendo Prime? You're right. And they do it. They build this $700 PC and they got it and they're playing it. And they're like, man, thank you, Ninty Prime. It's great. Then the Pro comes out and it blows it out the water. The $700 PC blows it out the water. Then what? What are you going to say? Are you going to give that, the person who listened to you, their $700 back? Are you going to do that? When they come back to you and be like, yo, Ninty, I thought you said $700 PC was better than the Pro. Why is the Pro smoke checking this? Oh, I thought. That's the problem when you dudes. You should have not mentioned, if that was your point, right? That you are into the used PC market, then talk used PC market. Why are you bringing up the PS5 Pro when we don't have the data to contrast it? You should have just stuck with the topic. And now you're crying. Now it's our fault. The reason I bring this up is if it's of my opinion that if, and just if, and if, because we don't actually know the price of the PS5 Pro, but if the PS5 Pro $700 is not going to sell well, that's a whole different conversation. That's a totally different conversation. Okay, if the PS5 Pro is $700 and doesn't sell well, what that got to do with the used PC gaming market? Explain. That's a totally different conversation. Totally different conversation. Has nothing to do with that. So now you just proven that your thing was a console war point. If you wanted to talk about PC component, PC used gaming market, then you could have done that. There you go. What does it got to do with PlayStation? It got nothing to do with PlayStation. And if you're concerned about PlayStation Pro selling well, all right, you could just talk about that. And it would have been just that. That has nothing to do with PC. But I'm going to be interested in seeing if the Switch 2 comes out at $500 with weak-ass hardware. I'm going to be interesting what your reaction with that. But anyway, that's a separate topic though, right? I know people quoted the 20 million PS4 Pro numbers to me. I don't think it was 20 million. I think it was like 14 or 15 million. That was at $400, the launch price of the PS4. Right? Not 700, 200 more than the launch price of the PS5. There's a point where something is so expensive, most won't consider the purchase. It is, in my opinion, that $7 for a home console is that price point. Or true, right? But there's no negative impact, right? Because the market producing, the market increasing console is the PS5 Slim. That would be like worrying about the iPhone 15 Pro Max is $2,000. There's cheaper options. So in this case, there's cheaper options if you want to hop on a PlayStation 5 console. This is an enthusiast console. And I will add to this. I didn't buy the PS4 Pro. Many people didn't buy the PS4 Pro. The number one reason why many people who could have bought a PS4, because I could have easily bought a PS4 Pro for $400, but I didn't. And it wasn't because of $400. It's because it didn't seem worth it. All it did was a resolution bump. So I'm like, whatever. I just didn't see it. Okay, I am more interested in a PS5 Pro at $700 or $600 to $700 versus a PS5 Pro at $500. Because at $500, it doesn't give me confidence that Sony put in the hardware to really give a significant difference. Because they're going to sell this Pro for profit. So A $500 console Pro sold for profit means that the building materials like around 300, 350, maybe 400, lower than the actual price for sale. That's how you sell it for profit. What kind of Pro are you going to build for 350, 400 bucks of building materials? It doesn't make sense. I have no confidence that the PS5 Pro will do anything. Now you sell a PS5 Pro for $600 or $700, that means the building materials are cost more, which means better components. That gives me more confidence. PS4 Pro, right? If you're trying to, here's the thing, you're not trying to sell a market increasing product. What you're trying to sell is a higher performance product. So you got to convince people that this is a great performing product, and people will pay for it. But you got to convince them of that first. If you can't convince them that this product does what it's intended to do, then then it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. If you are considering something that pricey, I do think your money is better spent on PC. Listen, we're going to stop this shit, right? No one cares what you guys think. You PC gamers or some PC gamers are the biggest pocket watchers, right, ever. Because you only look at things from the perspective of what you want out of gaming and never what the gamer wants, right? You could spend $2,000 on a PC and it will absolutely obliterate a console, but that doesn't goddamn matter if the console gamer wants to play Wolverine the day it comes out, wants to play Spider-Man the day it comes out, wants to play certain games the day it comes out. Then the money doesn't matter. Hell, you can't even play Grand Theft Auto 6 the day it comes out. And for some people, it's like, why the hell did I spend $2,000 on games I can't play the day it comes out? I have to wait months or years. For some people, it's just the wait is not worth it. But y'all not trying to hear that. What you're going to say is, oh, you can wait. Just play banana. Like, shut up. Listen to what the consumer wants. If I'm telling you I want to play X-Men day and date, accept it. Shut your mouth and accept it. If you cannot accept what I want, then you need to buy my $2,000 PC. Are you going to pull a credit card to pull the PC? Because you're going to pay for it. If I have to wait, I'm not paying to wait. But if you're really that desperate for me or any of us to play PC, I'll send you my Cash App. You're going to give me the $2,000? No? Okay, then shut up. Because we get to determine what we want. And if we are telling you we want certain games day and date, which is why PC is not really a thing for us, it doesn't make sense for us to pay more money, and one of the things that we really want in gaming we can't get immediately, then it just doesn't make sense for us. It's irrelevant to us, right? Some have higher priorities. But y'all not understanding that, which is fine. You don't have to understand. You just have to give us the money. That's it. Just shut up, give us the money. Give us the $2,000, and we'll do what you want. No? Then shut up. If you're not going to put your money where your mouth is, be quiet. Because we're going to tell you what we want. We want to play Wolverine day one. We want Spider-Man. You still don't got Spider-Man 2 on PC. Y'all don't got Final Fantasy Rebirth. You don't got some of the games that we want to play day one. So we put our money towards a product that gives us what we want. That's literally what it's about. Okay? The reason why PC is good for you, because the things that you want, you get. You're not concerned with playing PlayStation games day one. You're cool with waiting. That's fine. So then wait. Play a PC, wait, you get what you want. But if you really want to encourage us to get these products, even though it doesn't give us what we want, how we want it, then you're more than welcome to buy it for us. You're more than welcome. We will gladly take your money to buy the product you want us to buy. No. Oh, okay, then we're done with the combo. Enough of that nonsense. This was a console war thing for me. Markets determine value. Switch has not decreased its price because the market told Nintendo it didn't need to. Last fiscal quarter, Switch sold 300K less than PS5. PS5 is in its 4th year. Switch is in 8th year. Why would Nintendo throw away money if it sells almost as well as PS5 in 8 years without a price cut? I don't even understand why you made that topic. But it was a console war thing because you literally compared a $700 used PC with a product we have no idea of its capability. So what do you call that? If that's not console war, then what is it? You made a statement saying that this is better than this. $700 used PC is better, performance-wise, than a $700 PS5. Yet Pro. Yet we don't know the performance parameters of Pro. So please tell me, what is that then, if that's not console war? I mean, we could replace the word console war with straight bullshit. We could do that, and I would absolutely agree. It was a bullshit thing. I would agree with that. This is all about the business side of gaming, which I know is very boring for most compared to just arguing over whose plastic box is better or whose fandom. Now, it's not a business thing. It was a sales pitch. You try to sell people a $700 used PC. Had nothing to do with business. You tried to sell a $700 used PC and claim that it's better than a $700 Pro. Has nothing to do with business. It didn't cross compare games. I didn't cross compare games performance. I was referencing strictly a sales point. But the thing is, you have to cross compare game performance. Bro, you didn't learn? You didn't learn. You have to compare cost. If you're going to say this gaming platform is better this on a performance method, all right, let's see this performance comparison. You have to. But the thing is, you can't. And that's what we're trying to tell you, bro. You didn't need to bring up PlayStation if you just want to bring up used PC shit. I don't think Switch is overpriced. No, Switch is overpriced. Switch is absolutely overpriced. It's underpowered. It's weaker than the Xbox One. Right? It is overpriced, but the market is willing to accept it. The market disagrees. No, the market because you really don't have a choice. But the Switch is weaker than the Xbox One. That's it. It's just that the market is willing to pay for it. That's it. That's a whole different conversation. I think a $700 PC for will be rejected by the market. It might so, because guess what? Most will get the PS5 Slim. Just like how most got the PS4 Slim. The majority bought the PS4 Slim. The PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro came out the same year. Everybody flocked towards the PS4 Slim. Everybody. Majority. What's your issue? This is nothing new. Though depending on the specs, I think the value may be there. So when I say overpriced, I'm talking about sales. That's it. Yeah, of course, right? So a 350 Switch, right? That's weaker than an Xbox One is not overpriced. Simply because people are willing to buy it. But a $700 Pro, well, we can't even talk about the Pro because we don't know what the Pro is. Come on now, listen. If you don't like the Pro and you buy these shitty ass used PC, then just stay there, bro. It's whatever. That's the combo. No, it's not the combo. You try to sell a $700 used PC, bro. That's the combo. You didn't even bring up Nintendo in the first post. The first post wasn't even about Nintendo. So how is Nintendo now and whatever? The only reason why people are mentioning Nintendo because of your name. Like, where's this guy named Ninty Prime coming off talking about PC, used PC, and a PS5 Pro? While cheering Nintendo's bullshit handheld. But people will continue to console war because Nintendo's never using it. Pretend I know nothing about PC. I don't think we need to pretend, but anyway, about PC despite building over 1,000 of them. Well, it doesn't matter. You could build 1,000 of them. Doesn't mean you're smart in the conversation you have. Again, if you were smart, you would have just talked about, one, the PC used market and left PlayStation out of it. Because if you were really smart, you would have said, man, I really can't compare any PC to the Pro because I really don't know what the Pro does. We don't know the performance metrics. I don't have games to compare it to. Therefore, I can't tell anybody what's better than what. If anything, patience. You definitely don't have that because you could have put that tweet in draft and saved it. Put it on a Word document, right? Since you build thousands of PC, I'm pretty sure you know how to use Microsoft Word. So this is what you do. You post all that original bullshit that you posted, save it on a Word document. And call it, ooh, I'm going to own the ponies. Or, ooh, I'm going to convince people to pay $700. Call it whatever you want and save it. Save it on your PC. And just save it. And then one day, the PS5 Pro is going to come out and you're going to see the performance metrics. Then at that point, you have two choices, right? First choice, if the PS5 Pro doesn't perform as well as this supposed $700 used PC that you have listed, release the Kraken. Open up that file, copy, paste on Twitter, boom, you're good. Because you have the performance specs, you have the game specs, and you'd be like, this $700 PC does all these games better than the Pro. Boom, there you go. You win. If the opposite happens and the Pro launches and it does a great job with these games and you're like, oh shit, I can't do that with a 700 IC. I need at least 1200 to really even come close to that. Delete the file. And right now you wouldn't look like a fool. So if anything, this clearly shows you don't have patience. You don't know how to strategize. Strategy. Like President Bush said, strategy. You got no strategy. You should have used strategy. You should have waited. A little bit of patience. Just a little bit. At the end of the year, you could have had your win. Or you could have been like, yeah, put this sucker in the recycle bin. And you would have been good. But nope. Nope, buddy. You wanted to smoke. And now you're getting clowned for it. And now you're trying to do all this dancing around. Pretend I don't know what gaming on PS5 is actually, like, despite only one. But the thing is, we're not talking about PS5. We're talking about PS5 Pro. And nobody knows what gaming on a PS5 Pro really is. Or understand what benchmarks are and how games perform on different kinds of hardware. So what's the benchmarks on a PS5 Pro? Bro, this is literally what the conversation's about. Are you slow? In the end, I'm just talking about pricing compared to sales success. That's it. No, you did not. You tried to convince people to build used ass PCs instead of getting a PS5 Pro. Cut it out, bro. Like, life choices. Again, assumptions made here. Why? It was no assumption. You did it. All right? Shout out to BG. You can write all that paragraph you want while you saying about $700 PC is bullshit. I don't even care about the PlayStation comparison. All right? It's not. But it's okay. Not everyone is actually well versed in the world of PC. What the hell is you talking about? That was literally your whole thesis. You know what? Let's go back. Let's see. You probably deleted it. You probably deleted it. He probably did delete it. Yeah, he deleted it. Here you go. No, here you go right here. Oh, now he's talking about, you know who wins if PS5 screw? PC and Nintendo. Microsoft already charges. What? Oh my god. All right, here we go. This is it. If the PS5 Pro is rocking 600 for digital, 700 for physical, and still has only 1 terabyte storage, Sony's out of touch. At $700, you can actually build a PC from used components online that is more powerful and has more storage. New, you can almost build a system that's better. Reminder that Sony eventually puts all their games on PC, hence why this comp matters. The PS5 Pro was already a tough sell because most I talk to feel PS5 hasn't been properly utilized. Sad thing is, because I'm a tech enthusiast, I'll probably get one. I feel bad for Japan. This thing will cost crazy out of price. So where is all this shit he's about? Nintendo market value, business metrics, and where? Ninty, point it out. All I see is you trying to say at $700 you could build a better PC. That's literally the crux of this point. None of that other shit that you try to damage control. Come on, stop it, bro. There's life choices. Make better life choices. All right, make better life choices. In fact, I'm interested in seeing this other thing. You know who wins? Let's hear this. Let's see if you digging yourself to more stupidity. You know who wins if PS5 Pro has a SKU at $700? PC Nintendo. Microsoft already charged $600 for Series X with 2 terabytes of storage. These companies are out here about to make a $399 Switch 2. Look like a budget system that happens to play most of the same games, and PC gaming has always been awesome, and right now is pretty good time to get into PC gaming with all the COVID price gouging behind us. Didn't PC gaming do price gouging too? Bro, you hyped used PC components, not new, used. In my humble opinion, if most gamers want access to everything mostly day one, you need to just build a gaming PC and get a Switch 2. Wrong! You don't need a Switch 2. Wrong! You don't need a Switch. See? I said this in my live yesterday. These Nintendo fanboys, they always try to, to limit the PC specs when it comes to a PlayStation. You don't need a Switch 2. You don't need a Nintendo ever. Because Nintendo, because of their weak anemic hardware, always get emulated. Always. You can play Tears of the Kingdom on PC right now. All their games. At better frame rates. Better resolutions. Just better. Even on the Asus ROG highlights and handhelds. Now, of course, again, like I said on the live, people could argue the ethics behind it. Oh, it's stealing. It's not official. We're not talking about that. We're talking about capability. And PC has the capability to play Nintendo games easily. And they're better. So no, you don't need a Switch 2. You don't ever need a Switch. Ever. PC does it all. But you see what happens? I even said this, I knew this guy's bullshit. I knew this Nintendo fanboy is a straight through and through. You're all the same. Listen, you never need Nintendo if you game on PC. Ever. Ever. I don't want to hear, but the ethics. PC plays Nintendo games. And better versions. And they get them sooner than PlayStation games. Because again, PC doesn't have Marvel Spider-Man 2. It doesn't have Final Fantasy Verse 7. It's not going to have Wolverine for a long time. It doesn't have a lot of those games. You have to wait a while. While on PC, them emulations come out real quick for Nintendo Switch games. You don't have to wait long. It is what that's the capability of PC. That is the capability of what PC has. So don't try to shortchange PC's capability now and say, oh, you gotta get a Switch 2. No, you don't. You don't gotta get a Switch 2. And if you try to use the portability, Ace's Rogue is already there. Ace's Rogue Ally is probably gonna be more powerful than the Switch 2. And you could get one right now. You could get a used Ace's Rogue Ally than a brand new Switch 2. And you can play PlayStation games, and you can play Xbox games, and you have access to Steam, and you can emulate Switch 2 games. Alright? If we're going to do it right. If you're going to talk that shit about what PC can do it right. Say it all. Don't limit. So no, you don't need a Switch 2. More PCs, cross saves happens with games like it did with Witcher 3 Switch. What a nice combo. I know you could argue PC and Steam Deck 2 or something too, but again, they want access to Switch 2 games. Emulation and dumps won't be happening for Switch 2 probably until 2028. Oh, so now Day 1 access counts for Switch 2, but not for PlayStation. Fucking fanboys, bro. Nintendo fanboys, bro. So Day 1 games count for Switch 2, but not for Switch. I mean, Day 1 game, you know what I try to say, bro, because this is just rattling my mind now. The man literally said it's about Day 1 games on Switch without realizing a lot of the games on PlayStation are not Day 1 on PC. But that don't count. So it counts for Switch, but it don't count for PlayStation. I'm gonna reply to this dude. So get a Switch, cause it's oh shit, what I do? Cause it's important to have Day 1 access to Switch games, but that logic can't be applied to PlayStation games, cause it's okay to wait for games. Got it. So get a Switch, because it's important to have Day 1. Oh, Switch 2. Let me put that. So get a Switch 2, because it's important to have Day 1 access to Switch 2 games, but that logic can't be applied to PlayStation games because it's okay to wait for PS games. Let me put a question mark. Got it. Nintendo here. Let me talk to Nintendo fans. To all the Nintendo fans and Nintendo enthusiasts, here's the biggest advice I could give you. Do what Nintendo did. Stay the F out. Because that's what Nintendo did. Nintendo realized they can't go toe-to-toe with PlayStation in the console market, so they just left. And they went with this mobile strategy, this handheld strategy. Sure, you could play this handheld on a TV, just like you could play the Asus ROG Ally on a TV, but that doesn't make it the same dedicated console market PlayStation's in, that Xbox in. Nintendo said, you know what? We're going to stay the hell out. We're going to do our own thing. PlayStation, the market's yours. You beat us, we're done. We're off to the side doing our own thing. So all you Nintendo enthusiasts, do the same thing. Do your own thing. Don't worry about PlayStation. Don't think this is about PlayStation and Nintendo. Just don't worry about it. Don't try to force Nintendo. Don't look at Nintendo thinking they're doing something when they're not. They're not console warring. They're not even trying to step in PlayStation's lead because they got crushed every time. So they're doing their own thing. Okay? That's the best advice. Speaking of life choices, first I want to say before we go on to the next segment, thank you so much for rocking out. If you enjoy what you're hearing so far, I think you want to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And I truly appreciate you guys. 60 Frames No Lag podcast every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Come through, enjoy, right? Really appreciate you guys. I hope you're enjoying this. Light choices. Shout out to Nib. Nib said, oh dear, so Xbox turned down exclusivity on Destiny, Guitar Hero, Genshin Impact, or choice of any Marvel IP, Grand Theft Auto 3. It's crazy. Phil Spencer has made tremendously, impactfully bad choices. Like, if you watch the Xbox On documentary, it's Microsoft's own documentary, that there explains them rejecting Grand Theft Auto 3. Do you know how impactful Grand Theft Auto 3 exclusive to Xbox would have been for the OG Xbox? But then it then even got worse. They rejected Spider-Man because Marvel approached them. If you want to know more about that story, right? This is not an official promo or anything. I'm not signed by this author or anything, all right? So I got to make that clear. I'm not getting paid for this. It's just a good book. It talks about it in here. So those of you that wants to know the true story behind why Spider-Man is exclusive to PlayStation, don't listen to nonsense. It's in here. Got it in here. Maybe I should do a book club and read books. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Right? But let's see this, because this is gonna be interesting.
So, Bungie, both as part of Microsoft and then...
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to do that. I gotta... Pardon me. This should be in my headphone. And I apologize for the reverb feedback, whatever. But anyway, let's do this again. And make sure everything's okay. The levels are good. And let's do this.
So, Bungie, both as part of Microsoft and then spinning Bungie out, getting the pitch for Destiny on do we want to sign this? We ended up not signing Destiny, I'd obviously went with Activision, and to seeing what it grew into. I've passed on some of the worst, made some of the worst game choice decisions. This isn't in our list, but an interesting one. When this team came down to Redmond, and Alex Rogopoulos, and who's great, love Alex.
He's amazing. Shout out to Alex.
And he pitches a game where they're actually going to make plastic guitars, and they're going to plug into consoles. And then they're going to sell tracks where you're going to play Simon on this guitar, an old reference. And I'm like, really? Do we really think that's going to work?
No one's going to play that, Phil.
And a few people played Guitar Hero. I hear that turned into a pretty good game.
Yeah,
and then
that
Rock Band and everything.
That did okay,
yeah,
I
Rock
think.
Band, yeah, the whole thing turned. So I've passed. I'm not a regrets type person.
So she's a better host than I could ever be, because she's also making light of it. Oh yeah, who's gonna play Guitar Hero? That would have not been me, because I would be like, Phil, one question, why? How are you still employed? That would have been me. How? In fact, how did you get promoted? You made some of the worst decisions, and Microsoft rewarded you for it. How? But that's why I don't get to interview these guys. Because they know I'm that 60 frames no lag dude. They know I am Tony Stark. I am Iron Man.
Maybe that's a fault of mine, but I passed on so many games that I could look back and say,
No! 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 No!
Well, hold up. I gotta. Let me make sure I mute because certain songs will instantly flag my thing. Okay, here we go. We'll talk about this.
A small game publisher that had come to us and said, hey, we want to dust off one of the 2D games that we had done for PC. We're going to really invest in it. We think it's going to be really exciting.
And these newly important executives in Xbox who would review all the pitches from publishers and developers, they said, I don't think that game they're going to be able to make the transition from 2D to 3D.
They felt that it was complicated. They didn't really understand the user interface. They thought that it was based on a game that hadn't been all that successful. To my surprise, it was rejected.
And that game was called Grand Theft Auto 3.
It ended up selling 14.5 million units. It was the top-selling game of 2001 and would have been the top-selling game of 2002 if it wasn't beaten by its own sequel.
It was the pass heard around the industry.
So, Bungie, both
Life choices, man. How did this man get promoted? That's way too many things. Especially Destiny 1. Even though Bungie separated, they went back and be like, hey, we're gonna have an opportunity to have Destiny 1 exclusive to Xbox. And they said no. Even after the separation. This is crazy. Way too many flops. Grand Theft Auto 3, Spider-Man, Destiny 1, Guitar Hero, Genshin Impact. Bro, at a certain point, Phil should have just said, no, we don't want that. No, we want that. He should have just, whenever he did his first initial reaction, at a certain point, you got to be like, man, I really suck at making these choices. Hey, we got this race game. We don't want, we'll give you Spider-Man. Nah, we're not interested in Spider-Man. You know what? I'm going to do the opposite of what my brain is saying. We want Spider-Man. I don't know why we want it, but because I've been so stupid before, I want Spider-Man. I have no idea why, but I'm just going to say yes, simply because my initial reactions have been completely wrong every time. So I'm just going to go against my natural instinct because my natural instinct sucks. It just sucks. It straight up sucks. Life choices, right? Well, speaking of life choices, what you can do is subscribe to this channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday, your weekends, or whatever you're doing around the world. Like this video, subscribe. 60 Frames No Like podcast every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Come through. It's a great chat, got great moderators. You'll have great conversations. They do a good job of removing the trolls and the stupid people that just come up with dumb stuff. So you can actually enjoy the conversation. All right? I'll see you there. I already see you guys subscribing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking those 2 seconds to do it. Take care. Your only friend in these YouTube streets, Iron Man, a.k.a. Puerto77. I'm out of here. You guys take care. Peace. Grand opening, grand closing.